welcome to Suzuki Shed Motors. As you can tell, I'm not in the shed today. I'm out about on the GS500 Irn Girder in Glasgow. Just coming up to pass under the Kingston Bridge here, the main M8 motorway that cuts through the heart of the city. We're still in a sort of lockdown situation in Glasgow. We're not really meant to go, well, we're not meant to go out of our council area, only for very essential purposes, for work and things like that. But the rules have relaxed recently, and essentially we're allowed to go about for non-essential purposes, but within our council boundary. So I can't take the bike for the real shakedown that I want to give it, but I can poodle about the city on it. Not really what it was designed for, but hey ho, we are where we are. Everyone's in the same situation, so I'm not going to do too much complaining. Currently driving on the Broomy Law. The Broomy Law in Glasgow is pretty much riverfront. So Glasgow is one of these cities that is based around a river, and so it has a lot of architecture and a lot of industrial history based along the riverfront. And we're coming up to the Clyde Arc just now. You can see that. The Clyde Arc, affectionately known by the locals as the Squinty Bridge. It's a bridge, and it's a bit squint. It's the Squinty Bridge. Can't fault Glaswegians for their honesty. I wouldn't like to be the architect who designed it and called it the Clyde Arc, and then it was locally dubbed the Squinty Bridge. It was purposefully squint, you cretins. You can just see up ahead of me the Clyde Auditorium, or otherwise known as the Armadillo. Again, it was designed by an architect and given a name like the Clyde Auditorium, and the locals said, no you don't, it looks like an armadillo, and that's what we're going to call it. Just hiding behind the Hilton Garden Inn is the Finniston Kran. It's a crane, but it's called the Finniston Kran, and it has a history for the shipbuilding and docks that were along the riverfront, and it was used to load cargo, I think actually steam engines, funnily enough, onto boats in the river. The riverfront used to be completely covered by these types of cranes, but they've since all been dismantled or taken down with the sort of riverfront regeneration. There she is. Can you see that? There's the police helicopter out to catch bad guys. Reports of a hooligan on a very loud motorbike in the city centre. So yeah, this is the Finniston Kran. It's a pretty cool structure, and I think a lot of Glaswegians perhaps take it for granted, or maybe it doesn't register with them like it really should because they see it so often. But it is a pretty impressive structure. I couldn't tell you how tall it is. I'm guessing it's well over 100 feet. I'm going to pitch it 130, 140 feet, something like that. But it is that sort of crisscross girder construction, which I guess I've replicated to some degree in this bike. So yeah, another little nod to more of Scotland's industrial past. Anyway, from here you can see over to the Armadillo and the SSE Hydro, and the Scottish Exhibition and Conference Centre is over there. They're currently being used as mass vaccination centres. The NHS Louisa Jordan, I think is what it's called. Louisa Jordan being a Scottish nurse that died in service in the First World War. There you go. I googled it earlier, I didn't just know that off the top of my head. Let's go! cyclist. Red lights don't apply to you, pal. So we're now coming up into a part of Glasgow called Finniston. Finniston used to be actually not a particularly desirable area to live, but in the past sort of 15 years or so, it has become hipster central. Lots of cool coffee shops and eateries and bars and restaurants. I myself used to live in Finniston because I am a cool hipster. So heading through Finniston, you're leaving Glasgow city centre really, and you're heading now more towards the West End. And the West End of Glasgow is a lovely place. Absolutely stunning architecture, very old architecture, including things like the university buildings and Kelvingrove Art Gallery, which we will see just as we come round the corner at the next set of lights. And here she is, Kelvingrove Art Gallery. Phenomenal building actually, and the exhibitions inside are brilliant. I can't wait till it opens up again. So I've just stalled my bike. Salvador Dali's Christ the Redeemer, very famous painting, hangs in that gallery. As does a Spitfire, hangs from the ceiling. Pretty cool, eh? Lovely building. Very fond of it. We've got the Kelvin Hall over here that used to do a lot of sporting events, and I think it's recently had a refurb and should be opening again fairly soon. Passing over the Kelvin River itself, which feeds into the Clyde. Now coming down towards Byres Road. I'm just going to nip up here. Yep, thought you were going to cross. It's okay, you probably didn't hear me coming. Not. So Byres Road is a big sort of shopping road that runs right through the heart of the West End. And it really is where you do your shopping if you're posh. If you're posh, you do your shopping on Byres Road and all the cool shops. I keep stalling my bike. I think it's getting bogged out a little bit actually. It's running quite rich, I can smell it. Needs some fine tuning. It's funny actually, like, although going for a shakedown on country roads is much more fun, driving a bike around a city, the bike gets quite hot because it's not getting that airflow like it would at higher speeds, and so little gremlins can start to come out a little bit, and it's actually quite eye-opening. On you go, lads. Get yourselves run down. This was a real shame. Nardini's closed down. Nardini's was an amazing ice cream parlour. Really nice Art Deco styling as well. The original one is in Largs, which is one of the West Coast seaside towns. Are you going? There you go. Oh, you're doing a fucking U-turn, of course. Oh. Yeah, okay. Turn off Byres Road and take a bit of a back route to go and see the university. Glasgow University, often referred to as Hogwarts, and you might see why in a second. I've actually just done a U-turn and come back down towards Byres Road. I think what they've done is they've pedestrianised one of the roads I was thinking of for going to the university, which obviously won't suit. So I'm going to go a different way. That is a tenant's bar. Any true Glaswegian has had a pint of tenants in the tenant's bar. Very, very old establishment. Used to run a good comedy night down the stairs. I am full of the facts today. So just coming up, you can see the spire of Glasgow University. Big sort of Gothic spire. I don't know, is it Gothic? Is that right? I'm not sure. Either way, pretty cool university. It's really old. And like I say, its nickname is Hogwarts. And you can kind of tell why. Well, if all this building work wasn't in the way. Check it out. Pretty cool, right? Not a bad place to study. So I'm going to take a left here and head on towards the Glasgow Botanic Gardens. Another highlight of the West End. Lovely place to hang out on a nice day. Beautiful big greenhouses. With loads of cool exotic plants and things. If you've never been and you visit Glasgow, go! It's good. And it's free. Doesn't cost you no money. That's the Glasgow Botanics in there. So we're heading along Great Western Road now. Great Western Road, as the name would suggest, is a big long road that runs west. So we're coming down now to Anniesland Cross in the sort of far west of the city. And the reason we've come down this far is I'm headed for the Clyde Tunnel. Now the Clyde Tunnel, as the name suggests, is a tunnel that runs under the River Clyde. We're simple folk, Glaswegians. Don't like complicated names. Say it as you see it. With regards to riding, the bike actually feels quite good. I'm actually surprised at how well these tyres perform on this amount of tarmac. I thought I'd be getting white fingers, but not yet. My clutch hand is getting a good workout. All these red lights. These levers are quite a reach for my tiny baby hands. When I was a child, every time you went through the Clyde Tunnel, the challenge was to hold your breath from one side to the other. You pretty much get close to passing out, but I don't think that's a wise thing to do on a motorbike. As tempted as I am. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh. Yeah, there's no pedestrians to annoy, just annoying myself. That's fun. That does sound good. Right, we're coming up to the end of the Clyde Tunnel now. If you've managed to hold your breath, well done. The Clyde Tunnel takes you from the West End of Glasgow to the southwest of Glasgow and an area called Govan. And that big building in front of me is the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital, the Southern General, the Death Star to those that work there apparently. It's just a huge building. I don't think the Death Star has got anything to do with high mortality rates. So we're now coming on to Ibrox Stadium. Ibrox is the home of the Glasgow Rangers. Very divisive subject in the west coast of Scotland, football. I'm not going to get into it, but that is their home stadium. So we're now coming along past the Science Centre with the big tower and the BBC Scotland building at Pacific Quay. And as you can see ahead of us, we've done a full loop and there's the Finniston Cran coming into view again. Here it is. The Finniston Cran, the SSC Hydro, the Armadillo. Yeah, good view of Glasgow. So we're now going to come over the Suzuki Bridge, to go full circle. Look at that view. Not bad, eh? It's a cool place to live, Glasgow. I think next up what I'm going to do is nip up to Charing Cross and see if I can get onto the Kingston Bridge. Okay, let's go onto the Kingston Bridge. Might get a bit windy. Visor's down. I don't know if you can hear that very well, but that's the view, either side. Great view over Glasgow and to the south. Come back down off the bridge. So I'm now heading back to the south of the city, to where I live. You're in the middle of the road, absolute crazy folk. What's wrong with people? So we're back in the south side of Glasgow. Ahead of me is Queen's Park. I live in the south side, so I'm coming to the end of our journey now. It's been a pleasure showing you around Glasgow. Like I say, if you've not been, put it on your list for when you can visit. And if you do call by, give me a shout, we can go for a pint. As usual, give me a like, leave me a comment, and please do subscribe to the Sugar Shed Motors channel. I would really appreciate it, and thank you to everyone who's subscribed already. I know you've all been really excited to see this bike finished and out on the road, and here it is, and I'm really grateful for all the support, and thank you for all the lovely comments as well. I will see you next time. I don't know what it will be. I might put together a longer edit of the sort of build time-lapse, I guess, for this bike. Essentially clips from all the previous episodes put together in a bit of a montage to show start to finish, and I might even throw in some unseen footage from my archive on this build. Anyway, until then, I've been Ewan, this has been the Irn Girder, that was Glasgow. Take care, see you later, bye. Boom. Vroom. Oh, don't be that guy, Ewan. Don't be that guy in a tunnel revving your motorbike. It sounds cool though, doesn't it? I guess I am that guy.